Hello, hello. We are here with Terra Invicta, episode 1. That's right, people. We are going to play Dungeons & Dragons, starting a new campaign, and then in 3 years from now, we'll probably finish it.
Who knows about that?
I don't know, maybe longer.
Maybe longer, yeah. Okay, so I think we start... Yeah, we start the game today. We get a aerial shot of the city, right? So exotic port city of Calabar. We see, I think we're following a boat actually as it like sails up to Calabar, and at first, like you're going behind a cliff, and at first it doesn't look like there's much of anything here, and then suddenly you get a little bit closer and you pass by. Because you just see like kind of like the cliff, the walls along the cliff there, and then you get to what's called Tavora's Arch. Used to be a bridge spanning that entrance into the city, and you see this sailing ship pass through it, and suddenly is just enveloped in sights and sounds and smells of this exotic port city. Smells is probably the first thing that like really gets noticed, right? This is a cacophony of various smells. There is so much food, and there's animals, there's people of all sorts. And it's just, the city is generally a little bit of chaos, right? Like people going everywhere, this, that, and the other place. Lots of ships in the river / kind of harbor here. We just kind of see this pan shot. And as we're getting all of this visual cinematography, we're hearing a voiceover of a woman's voice, and she's reading a letter. Like she probably, she wrote this letter, and we're just hearing it in her voice. And this is a letter that all of you have received. It was probably just given to. Well, I mean, do you guys stay in the same place together? Like, what's your living situation right now? I assume you guys all just live in different places and just get up together on the weekends to go do adventuring, right? Yeah. Okay. Probably. So this would probably go to each of you separately then. So I'm going to read this, and then I'll have each of you kind of give a quick description of like what it looks like when you receive the letter, and kind of what we see from you and what you look like and stuff. So the letter is as follows. Greetings, and I trust this missive finds you in good health. My name is Lavinia Vanderboren, and I humbly request your attendance at dinner at my estate on Festival Street and Blue Skink Lane tomorrow evening. I think that I can present you with an opportunity uniquely suited to your skills. Please inform the carrier of this letter of your response to this invitation, and I hope to be speaking to you soon. So we get that voiceover as we kind of start focusing in on a particular section of the city. And I think first we see the Cudgel District. We go through its gate, and we see a bunch of citizens kind of keeping to themselves. They're kind of looking suspiciously at anyone who looks strange that enters this place. I think honestly, what we're doing is we're following a young woman. It looks like a servant. She looks like this. So kind of auburn hair. She looks pretty. Wearing a servant's outfit. And she is kind of, bundled up. Not bundled up, I guess, because I think she has like some sort of like parka something or other, right? Like on because it's raining. And she's kind of going through the Cudgel District, and has this kind of satchel with a letter inside. And she I think first walks up to a what looks like a kind of nondescript shrine. And it has probably iconography of a swirling vortex and other more just arcane runes. And we get a shot of I guess, where would Delhi be in relation to the shrine?
I mean, they probably keep her in the basement. I mean, I don't know exactly.
Yeah, let's say let's say Delhi's like leaving right now to like maybe go look at the animals. And so we see her step out of the shrine door probably, right? And this woman, this servant woman, kind of intercepts you. What does Deli look like as she's what's she doing? What does she actually look like description wise as she steps out of the shrine?
She looks like a teenage dragonborn kind of age. She kind of looks like a teenager of that dragonborn age, so she's I'll say this age. She looks 5 for a dragonborn.
But dragonborn mature much faster. Yeah,
it's dragonborn mature much faster. I think they're like adults at like 12 or something.
Something like that.
Remember. Yeah, it's really young. Made doing this tricky.
They come from an egg, so
she's a pink dragonborn, which is not natural.
Yeah. That is not a natural born color.
She's wearing leather armor over what looks like kind of a long sleeve shirt and probably like past the knees kind of pants. They look like they're kind of newer. Chances are she just bought these with the new money she's gotten because she's never really had nice clothes. Yeah. So the long sleeve shirt and the pants kind of look nicer and newer. And then slung over her back, she has a metal wok and a giant wooden spoon.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. Cool. Yeah.
Other than that, she also has equipment on there. Looks like she probably has like a backpack underneath the wok. She has like maybe a bag on her side or something like that.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. And so this woman steps up to you and then says, excuse me, are you Deli by chance?
Who's asking?
I have been waiting for a month.
Oh no! I was wondering about what that voice is going to sound like.
There's a reason I didn't say.
Very nice.
Because this is the voice.
It's less annoying than I expected it to be honest. So I accept it for now.
A little bit.
Yeah. So she says, "Oh, my name is Carla Resendez. I work for Lady Vanderboren. She's a noble in the merchant district. I have a letter for you."
Okay. Stella will reach up and
take it. I can just press a button to turn it off. So
yeah, cool. Yeah.
She'll reach up and take it and kind of look at it.
Yeah.
How would she respond to this?
So there's going to be food?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, we wouldn't invite you over without food. I mean, Lady Vanderboren wouldn't invite you over without food.
And knowing it's the merchant, do I know this is nice food?
I mean, it's a noble, so yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, I'll come.
Good. I understand that we're also. Sorry. Let me say it again. She says, I'll also be. How would she say that? Lady Vanderboren has also invited some acquaintances of yours.
Oh, okay. Okay, this should be okay then.
She heard about your saving that child in the marketplace. It's very heroic.
Thanks.
Well, I'll see you there then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just imagine she walks off and I awkwardly no, because she still has to go to the other person. So yeah. I walk away at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we see Carla continue along the road, and she ends up at this big old purple monastery. And goes up to the door, knocks on it, gets we don't really hear any of the conversation, but she gets let in by one of the monks. Where is Anna right now? Is she like meditating in a room somewhere?
Yeah, she's probably like outside meditating, but I'm guessing with how like private the monastery is, somebody would come get her to go
outside
to like the main entryway.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So she's letting in under the rain, Carla is, but doesn't get access to like the full monastery, just this entrance room.
Oh, is it raining outside?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so then you see Anna come in from the outside, but for some reason she's not wet, even though it was raining.
Cool.
And she comes into the entryway.
What'd she look like?
She is fairly tall for a human woman. Young adult, long, dark brown hair with like some braids in it with beads like braided in. every so often in there, and very slender and like very, very, very pale, and then dark brown eyes.
Sure thing.
And she's wearing just like simple like white cotton clothes that are, it's like short sleeves and like kind of baggy, and then it ties into like the like baggy pants kind of thing, but it's like all one piece kind of,
sure.
where it's like almost a dress, but no, it's pants for versatility.
Of course. Yeah, and so I think she actually I need to check something I meant to check. Good to know. Okay. Yeah. So she kind of, I think Carla like bows slightly, like she assumes she's supposed to in terms of like a monk sort of thing. She doesn't really know what to expect. So she like maybe bows and maybe thinks better of it, and then try kind of half curtsies in the middle of the bow. And she just says, are you Anna?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, well, great. I was sent to deliver a letter to you from Lady Vanderboren.
Oh, okay.
Here you go.
Like,
Yeah, hands it over.
take the letter and start opening it to like kind of look inside.
Yeah, and you read it, and you read the letter that I read aloud.
Oh, is there something she needs help with?
Yes, she's looking to hire you, I think. You and your acquaintances, you rescued that child in the marketplace.
Oh, I mean, if there's, I'll have to go check and make sure there's someone to help with the children that night. But yes. If I can do anything to help.
Perfect. I know she'll really appreciate it. All right, well, good day. Steps away. Yeah, and then I think we probably get Audrun. Is that what you said? How you pronounce it? Audrun. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
Audrun.
I think we get Audrun next. She goes up to. I mean, where do you live in Shadowshore?
That's the thing. I kind of don't.
Or do you not live in Shadowshore anymore? Right. Yeah. Where do you live right now?
That's also the thing. I kind of don't.
Where's somewhere you frequent?
Um,
Where do we know where to find you?
Yeah.
probably a tavern that gets a lot of sailors.
Okay.
Like that is like the best, either that or like just kind of looking through alleyways.
Yeah, like I mean, so Azure District is like where all the most of the sailors are. Let's say you are currently in the Bloody Pelican,
Okay.
which is a tavern there. Yeah. So are you doing the Aragorn thing where you like in the corner all moody like?
No.
Okay.
I'm doing I sit down at someone else's table and ask them to tell me a tale.
Okay. Yeah. So some drunk guy is giving you a raucous tale about how he like seduced a mermaid once, and it's it's obviously false, but yeah, he's telling you it. And Carla steps in, and like I think probably what happens immediately is, I mean, all the dudes in the place start looking at her because she's not half bad looking herself. I mean, this isn't like the most reputable place in the world, so they all start kind of like ogling her. And she kind of steps through hesitantly and comes up to the table. And before she can even say anything to you, the drunk guy who was just telling the story just said, "Now, I was talking about how beautiful that mermaid was, but that beauty does not compare to the beauty I see before me right now." He like stands up and is like kind of like swaggering at her.
Oh, crap. Okay. Okay, so I think he Audrey like thinks, oh shoot, I need to, like, she's probably not here for him.
Right, yeah. She's obviously obviously looking at you.
Yeah, so he gets up and taps the drunk guy on the shoulder and like whispers in his ear, "If you think she's cute, you should get a look at her," and like points in a completely different direction.
Sure.
And then the moment he looks away, he grabs her by the he grabs her and quickly makes her retreat out of the tavern.
Sounds good. Yeah. And so you guys get outside and everything's fine, but she says, thank you. And I think she's literally looking at you like a little bit of like a glint in her eye, like, oh, this handsome stranger is just saved me. Right. And she says, I think she just doesn't say anything after that. She's just like staring at you.
Yeah, I think Audrey goes, so, but that doesn't seem like your type of scene, sweetheart.
Oh, no, it's not usually. I'm sorry. I was staring, wasn't I? Here. And then she like reaches into the satchel, hands you the letter. I'm giving this to, well, Lady Vanderboren. Well, she is, I mean, if you could come to, you should just read the letter.
Can I roll a history check to see if I know Lady Vanderboren?
Yeah, I was gonna say anyone can do that if they'd like to.
I'm just gonna say Deli doesn't.
Yeah, that's totally fine. She's a minor noble, so it's not. So 16. Let me pull up my.
Also, I gotta say, Jordan, your character token looks like a total Chad.
I didn't. Okay, so that is not how I straight up envision my character. It's just that's the closest, like physically.
Yeah, I had a hard time finding something that.
Because I'll send you guys. Also to just my character is like only 19, so.
Oh yeah, did you give your character a description for your character?
Oh no, I totally did.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we have a young, cocky, somewhat naive halfling who is at this tavern, who seems very interested in just listening to whatever kind of info he can, especially from these sailors.
You mean half elf?
Half elf. What did I say?
You said halfling.
You said halfling. I was like, huh. How'd you take her away?
Yeah, no, half elf is what I meant.
Yeah.
He's got a light brunette hair, blue eyes, and he's wearing kind of a tattered long, not long sleeve shirt, but it goes to his elbows, or he has like it used to be a long sleeve shirt, but it's like cut off at the elbows now, and he has a tattered red vest on, some blue jeans that have patches in them everywhere.
Yeah.
He's got pouches. He's got a pouch on his side and a rapier attached to the hip.
Sweet.
Not literally attached, but you know.
Yeah. So that DC 15 check. So you recognize the Vanderboren name, right? Yeah. Minor nobility that live in Merchant District. They're not the family isn't, so each district has a representative noble family. So the way the city functions, it's like a council of nobles, of noble families that like rule the city. So it's not like it's not like there's a king or anything. But the Vanderborens are not one of those families. They're a minor nobility, so they're still part of like the ruling. Like they have stuff to do in the government and stuff, but they're not one of the ruling families. But yeah, still nobility. Still have money. But the fifth, getting that 16 is enough to recall. So there was like a tragic fire a month ago. That and I mean, you recognize Lavinia's name is the name of their eldest daughter. These two, but the parents died recently, actually, in like a tragic ship fire. On like the maiden voyage, they had just like christened this new ship that they had bought, and on its maiden voyage, it literally just like some accident happened and it burned to the waterline. They died tragically. So, they're survived by their two children, Lavinia and Vanthus. There's also a son involved, but yeah, Lavinia is the daughter. So,
okay,
yeah, so that's
Yeah, so she says the name Lavinia, and I'm like, okay, clearly you have the wrong guy. I'm not somebody you're gonna be seeing around.
Nobility, I assume, is the
yeah,
Yeah.
nobility. I was going to say the Vanderhoofs or whatever you said.
Vanderborens. Yeah.
Vanderborens. Around the Vanderborens. As you can tell from the company that I choose to keep.
Well, we can always change. She seems like slightly uncomfortable by this change in conversation, and I think she just says, she invites you all the same. I believe some acquaintances of yours are invited as well. It won't just be you.
Acquaintances. Oh!
Yes, Lady Vanderboren heard about the child you saved in the marketplace.
Wow, news really spreads fast around here. Okay, that's good to know.
It's been a couple months, hasn't it?
Wait, it has been a couple months?
It's been at least a month since that happened.
Okay, I think he probably says something like, okay, so news does travel around these parts. That's good to know.
Yeah, and so she just nods and says, well, I suppose I will see you there then.
And did she say like a day or time?
Yes, it was tomorrow evening.
Okay. And as she goes, like I just say,
she gave you the letter
Audrin,
too, so you have like the letter.
Yeah. And Audrin just says, "Now be careful going home. It can be a little sketchy in that area, and I would take the back road there."
Oh, okay. Sounds good. I will. Thank you. Yeah. So she takes off.
And so he like opens it, reads the letter, stuffs it back in his pocket, and goes back into the tavern and says, "Now tell me again how you met the mermaid."
Yeah. Sounds good. And then the last person we see is we see Carla come up to wherever Takui is staying. Where is Takui staying right now?
Oh, I'm assuming I'm staying probably in like a top room of like either or like long-term renting, like an inn room or something like that, for like a discounted price or something like that, like renting out of space.
Yep.
And so I have to work, on the docks and whatnot during the week to, pay my way for my room and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm probably in my room, playing my instrument. And
what is your instrument, by the way? I was wondering about that.
I keep going back and forth between a lute and a flute.
I mean, flute would make more. I mean, I guess it's a mixed kingdom now, so yeah, it could be either.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I like flutes better, but a lute because it's more portable than a lute. A lute is big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's say
or it's not that big, but
not as big as bagpipes.
Yeah,
it's true. So she's like playing her flute. Like, I picture her like, she's in her room and she's like, but she's sitting on like the window sill, like playing her flute, and then she can probably just come right up to her door, or even she might even see her like, from like outside the window coming up and be like, "Are you da da da?"
Yeah. I think you're saying at the Drunk Baboon.
Okay.
No, sorry. That's just a tavern. I think you're staying at the Bent Trident is what you're staying at. So that's the inn you're staying at. So she comes up to the Bent Trident and you probably see her through the window, is what you said. Yeah. And she gets your room number from the proprietor and walks up, knocks softly on the door.
And she, goes up and opens the door.
Yeah, what does Takui look like?
Well, Takui is a young fire genasi. And so I don't think she has like actual fire hair. I think like maybe parts of it have fire, but it's more like a glow than like actual fire. But it's kind of, unruly and, I don't know. I think that most of the time she probably braids it to the side, but right now, because she's not, fighting or working, it's, it's out. And she's got, dark, like, bright orange, eyes and
Nice.
dark skin with like these like light tattoos. So kind of think of it like the inverse. If like you have light skin with like dark tattoos, it's almost like just dark skin with like
Yeah.
light tattoos.
Sure.
But yeah, and she's just wearing like comfortable like workout gear kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You know, she doesn't have armor or anything like that. Just, you know, stuff that you'd be comfortable moving around in.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, even though she probably knew who you were, she still looks a little surprised to see a fire genasi because there's probably not a whole lot of those around here, and so she just blinks and, are you Tekui? And she's like looking at a note.
She just like nods. She says, "It's Tekui." Yes.
Tekui, right? I have a letter for you from one Lady Vanderboren. She like hands
And
it.
I think I know who that is because I'm from the merchants.
Yeah, make a roll.
Correct.
But you would probably be able to recognize the name at least. But yeah, we'll see how much you know. Yeah, so you don't know what Jordan knows, but you recognize the name.
Okay. And I just go, "Oh, of course." And I open it, read it, and I just go, has this gone to my companions?
Of course, yes. You're all invited.
She's the only one who asks.
Of course.
And she just kind of nods and just says, "Well, I would not dare say no to Lady Vanderboren. I will be there."
Awesome. Great. Sounds good.
And then, you know, normally you probably like go for like a handshake or something like that, you know, or, you know, like
I mean, I don't
some
think
kind
she
of like
does,
formal greeting. But I think Tekui, I'm trying to think of like what like formal greeting they would have in Brazil.
Man, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just trying to go with I express affection or contempt in ways that are unfamiliar to others. So I'm trying to come up with like things that I would
Some
do.
sort of
that are
gesture.
I mean,
different.
could it be like cheek kisses?
I feel like that would be dangerous.
That's more like European than it is.
I know, but Brazil,
Brazilian.
we are from Europe, and like it was
That's
colonized by Europe.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't know.
Alyssa
Just
doesn't
an
want
idea.
that.
I was just throwing something out.
I appreciate it.
If it's like a handshake, but it's like one of those full arm handshakes, so she goes for it, then you go like that. She's like,
maybe, something like
here
that.
Here you go. One of the Mesoamerican customs was you bow and kiss the earth, which is a little intense.
That's a little intense
It is,
for takeaway. I'm gonna go with Seth's suggestion, where like I go
you also
for a hand.
you also hold. One of the other ones is you hold their forearm. You grab their forearm.
that's kind of what I was going for.
Right, that's what he was saying.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect,
So like it looks like I'm going for a handshake, but then I grab her forearm and I'm just like, "Thank you so much."
She's generally very confused because I think she was in like the middle of a curtsy when you did this, so she's just like, okay.
and I just like nod and just say thank you, and then I just shut the door.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. So, I assume you all show up at the Vanderboren Manor?
Nah.
And here we go. Yeah.
What day is?
Yeah, so Vanderboren Manor is located in the eastern section of the Merchant District. I don't remember off the top of my head like where specifically it is. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Found it. It's right here.
What is it actually?
Say again?
What's the actual day that we're going?
It would be the day after, so tomorrow,
Like, is that
next evening.
like a Sunday or Saturday?
Yeah, let's find out. I think it is November 2nd when you go to the Vanderboren Manor. Which this is going to be the year 1632. Oh no, sorry, 1642, I believe. Let me double check that.
Be very sure because I'm about to write it in pen.
Yes, 1642 is the year we start in. Which, let's see, November 2nd on 1642, day of the week. You can find that out right now. It was a Monday.
Okay, so that's fair then. That makes sense.
Yep. So Monday, November 2nd, 1642, we begin the adventure in earnest. And so the Vanderboren Manor it has like 7-foot high stone wall that surrounds it. And it has like, it's basically, it's like a towering Gothic 3-story house. So it's, it's noticeable, it's visible. It's probably not like the biggest noble house in the city, but it's a noble house. So it's noticeable, easy to find. Leering gargoyles and capering nymphs are on like the eaves of the manor's roof, like these little statues and stuff. And there's some nice trees on the inside of the manor grounds. There's like a wall surrounding the complex and then the manor house itself on the inside. There's some trees inside as well to kind of give it some flavor. But yeah, if you're let in the gate by like a guard, probably like an older dude in a kind of rusty helmet, probably. And you guys enter the Vanderboren Manor. I'll go ahead and I'll probably just make the dynamic lighting off on this for now.
I was gonna say, is it really that? Oh, there we go.
It's me.
Yeah, there you go. You have entered the complex, and then if you like knock on the door or whatnot, actually the gate's probably left open, so you probably can just walk straight up to the door. Who's like gonna knock on the door? What's the group dynamic even like at this point, where you guys just like walk up to the door? Like I assume Taekwee probably is the one who knocks, but
Sure, why not?
I'm probably in the back. I'm still kind of timid around new people.
Yeah, I'm probably in the back. My arms just kind of folded, like.
Yeah, it's nice looking.
I'm just like wide-eyed taking it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'd like to like just I'm just getting a really good look at the whole place and
figuring out if you can
looking
steal
for
from
traps and saying, okay, we could get ambushed from over there.
Sure. Yeah, sounds good.
So
yeah.
Taekwee will like
knock
on the door.
Yeah, and after a moment, door opens. The same kind of shy, pretty girl opens the door. Her name's Carla. So I think she says, "Oh, thank you so very much for arriving on time."
I start bow curtsying how she did to me because I don't understand how things work.
Right.
So I was like, is this the proper thing to do?
Yeah, Carla like seems confused and probably like in her mind, she's like, oh wait, did I like accidentally get that right? Like that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
And then Taekwee does the whole like handshake thing again with her.
Yeah, she's like, just generally
Carla,
like
it's good to see you.
Uncomfortable and awkward. She definitely like keeps glancing over at Audryn, as you guys kind of come in. Yeah, and
Insight check. No, just kidding.
I think it's pretty obvious that she finds Audryn handsome. So
she's in love.
But
our first romance of the story.
Yeah, you guys step in and I think Carly just says, if you could just wait one moment, just wait here in the atrium. Lady Vanderboren will be with you shortly. She's in another meeting and they should be out any second now. Yeah, see, she like scurries off.
Are there
can we see that pond area?
No. Actually, yes, there's a window right there.
I'm just like, like on my tiptoes, like looking around, like.
Yeah, and this is the atrium, so you can like walk around any part of the atrium. So
I want to run up to the window and look out at the pond and see if there's any fish.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously, yeah. There's some fish inside.
Feel like very uncomfortable with all of the opulence and like slightly like nauseated. Like, why is this? Like, why does she have all of this?
Yeah, so this is the thing. Actually, it's actually not terribly like decorated. Okay. It honestly looks like this rug here is probably the fanciest thing that's in this room. It actually looks like there's a few spaces where decorations would hang and they're not there.
Mm.
So yeah.
Okay, then I'm less offended.
Yeah.
What's the rug made? What kind of rug is it?
Some fancy silk, probably from like maybe not all the way from China, but like the Indies, you know.
Just a flying carpet. Leave it alone.
Yeah,
It's fine.
somewhere in the Middle East or the Indies or something. Yeah.
Quick, don't look at that bear rug in the other room.
I know. I know.
Yeah, so Takewee will also kind of look in the pond like, oh my goodness. Like,
Deli's face is pressed against the window. She's like,
Oh, look at all the fish. He's kind of
he's sitting there looking at him, just like, animals make
Yeah.
her happy.
And is Audrey, I assume, still scoping out the place, like noticing, like, oh, you could ambush someone here, and
Yeah, basically like scoping out, like, okay, is this a trap?
I mean, you can make an insight check if you want to.
Yeah, I want to make that insight check. Because I'm just so insightful.
I mean, 16 is not bad. Especially for for a first level character. So yeah, I think you
who doesn't have any bonuses to wisdom.
Exactly, yeah. I think for you, Adrian, it's pretty obvious. I mean, Audrey? Yeah, sorry. It's pretty obvious what's happening here. The Vanderborens are down on their luck, right? They've had to sell stuff. The decorations that should be on here have been taken off and sold to pay some debt or something. Like they're in a bad spot right now, and that's probably related to what Lavinia wants you for. So it doesn't seem like a trap to you. It just seems like a noble is really in need of help and is asking whoever she can. So
yeah.
So I think like as you're looking around for a little bit, and then you hear a door open, and a group of figures kind of comes out from this hallway over here. Carla's kind of racing, like kind of walking, like kind of in between them, beside them as they like make their way out. Not necessarily he's not walking with them, but just kind of generally like kind of getting past to go talk to you guys as well. And there's 4 of them. We have at the front, we have a handsome man dressed in scale mail, wearing 2 short swords and a longbow strapped across his back. And yeah, he looks like this. Handsome dude, human, great hair, slight beard. Yeah, I mean, looks like they're all of these people are like, decked out for some sort of mission, right? Behind him is a dwarf. And I think we would recognize this dwarf in terms of like the way he looks as one of the like Moldovan dwarves, actually. Right. So not from the Norse countries, but from where Darius was from. He's tattooed. He has various kind of like blue and black tattoos across his face and his arms. And he carries a scimitar on his side, and he has like a serious expression. Doesn't seem like the kind of person who is much for humor. And is wearing like dirty hide armor. And behind him is an attractive but haughty looking woman dressed in a green dress. And she's like, what?
That she's attractive and she's a hottie.
But yeah, she has a lot of makeup on. Like a ridiculous amount for being part of what is obviously an adventuring group. Is wearing like a very intense green dress. And then taking up the rear is a Chinese elf. Beard. Has some like kind of dragon tattoos around his eyes. He has like leather armor and is armed with like half a dozen daggers of different shapes on various parts of his body. So they kind of like step around the corner and kind of see you guys. And I think the dude, the main human guy, he just kind of like looks around. I think notices Takewee, kind of gives you like a once over, like, you're attractive. And then he says, you must be the help Lavinia's bringing in to do the chores. Oh, best of luck to you. And then they seem to like start trudging towards the door, unless you guys want to like say anything to them.
I might just say thank you.
I was giving them space like they were going to be important in my notebook, but apparently they're just leaving.
It might be important later.
Foreshadowing. Yeah, I mean, do you let them leave or say anything, or what do you do?
I think Takewee just like, I mean, if they're like on their way out, she just like nods.
Just nods. Cool.
I don't know that she really is like, oh, hello.
Is there any chance that I would be able to know or recognize any of them, or be able to put together who any of them are?
Yeah, make a history check. Certainly.
History checks for days.
Nice.
Oh yeah, certainly. Yep, you recognize all of them.
Jeez.
These are the Jade Ravens, a mercenary company that's been in the Vanderboren employ for several years. Like, this is the family mercenary company that like they hire to do jobs and stuff. So the man is Tolan Gisborne, and he is like a ranger. Zandalon is the elf, and he is a rogue. Doral Adrinek is the dwarf, and he's a druid. And Leandra Bastos is the gal, and she's a sorceress.
You have to put that in the chat.
I will, yeah. So Tolan Gisborne, human ranger. Doral Adrinek, dwarf druid. Leandra Bastos, human sorceress. And Zandalon, elf rogue. So, yeah, you recognize them, and it's obvious that like she's sending them to do some other mission, and then is taking you guys on as well to do something else. You're not entirely sure. So yeah, they head out.
Yeah. So as they pass out, I just kind of as they're leaving, Audrin kind of turns to, it's Zahn.
Yeah, Zahn.
Yeah, he turns to Zahn and gives kind of like a the kind of half bow thing, and goes, and in Elvish says, "I admire your work."
Okay, make a charisma save for me.
Get a 0. Get a 0.
Dang! Critical success.
First crit of the game.
Wow, Jordan, look at all those good rolls.
Yeah. So I think I feel like I'm gonna double check which of them knows Elvish, because I think they would all act favorably towards you. Whoever knows Elvish, Elvin or whatever. Let's see. Tolan doesn't know it. Doral doesn't know it. I don't think Leandra knows it either. No, she's not. Yeah,
Surely Zahn does.
Yeah, obviously Zahn does. I was just double checking to see if any of the others did. Yeah, so Zahn obviously, like, none of the others understand what you said. But Zahn like just smiles at you, and it kind of like a smirk, cocky, like, yeah, we are great, aren't we, sort of a way. But he obviously appreciates it, and then I think you get the sense
that the way that I say it is like it's implied that I appreciate all of their work, but especially his roguiness.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you've just created a connection here, and this might come back later. So. Yeah.
Nice.
He nods at you and kind of gives you like the smile nod, like, oh, thanks. And I think you even get the impression that he's probably going to mention that to the rest of the party too. So like, again, critical success and a charisma save. Yeah, they all appreciate that that someone knew them and thinks they're cool. So
we're on powerful people's good side. Yeah.
Good start.
And then Takewee will like hear that. I mean, she won't understand what you said, but she'll like hear that, and she'll like immediately go up to you and just be like, "Who are they?" And then that's where we can all like, you can like whisper and we can information.
Yeah, Adrian like leans in and just says, "Okay, so it's the
Vanderboren.
Vanderboren.
I'll put that in chat too.
Yeah.
Vanderboren.
Audrin leans in and says, "The Vanderboren's private merc group."
She just goes, ooh.
And if Deli still looking at all the fish, said,
And what do they need us for?
Yeah, and Carla, I think, has come behind the Jade Ravens and then says like, Lady Vanderboren will see you now. As if an answer to your question.
and
Deli will sigh and pull herself away.
From the beautiful fish.
Drama much? Jeez.
she'll still eat meat because
Yeah.
she has to, but she just loves it.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, and you guys are all taken to the dining hall. So if you want to just drag all your tokens over here.
Where is it?
Right here.
Haha, I'm visiting the fish and you didn't get to. Haha.
Yeah, so
She looks like a harsh woman.
so this private dining hall is like it looks comfortable, looks cozy, it's softly lit by wall-mounted lanterns. A window overlooks obviously the manor's central courtyard with that fish stuff there as well. The little pond and whatnot. And a large portrait hangs on this wall, and it's a pretty good painting. It's depicting a handsome young man with a short beard. And actually, I think the portrait must be right behind her actually, because I think she's framed by it. So she's standing like it's at a length or a height where it's right above where she can see. So kind of framed back against her. This is what the portrait looks like. So, yeah, handsome noble man. Portrait back there. And attractive human woman, Lavinia Vanderboren. She doesn't actually look harsh, I don't think. So that was, whatever the token is kind of
Goes before it was zoomed in, it looked
looked a little bit harsher.
angrier.
Yeah. She looks very pleasant. Nothing but smiles here. It obviously looks a little, I think maybe Audrin probably is the one who notices this, but maybe a little bit she obviously has like bags under her eyes and like is a little weary. And probably, still dealing with the death of her parents, because that was like only a little bit ago. But other than that, she's trying to be as pleasant as possible. But yeah, attractive human woman, long flowing blue dress. And she smiles as you enter and she says, "Good to see you all. My name is Lavinia Vanderboren. Please take a seat. The food will be here shortly."
And Takeway just lightly sits down.
I assume you all sit down.
I think she does this thing though where she crosses her legs on chairs, so it's like,
Okay,
she's not quite formal, but
Sure.
She's not like unpolite or anything. Like she's not like just like casual, but
Yeah.
she's just like, she like sits with her legs crossed, at the table.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't really comment on it. She obviously notices it, but yeah. What about the rest of you? I assume you just sit down normally.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, and so I think she sits down after you guys all sit down, and then says, "Well, since the food won't be ready for I think a little bit yet, I guess I can just get right down to business if that is all right with you."
Real quick, do my feet even touch the floor?
Yes. I mean, you're a preteen, so or a teenager.
My
or
feet
whatever.
barely touch the floor, maybe,
Yeah,
so I can
sure.
kick my feet back and forth.
Yeah. So I mean, she kind of was asking that, like, is it okay if we get right into business, sort of thing.
We just like gives her like a respectful nod.
Yeah. I think she's starting to pick up right away that like you're the person to talk to, sort of thing. Because the rest of you are probably generally lost in your own worlds doing various things. But
I look like a child.
yeah, so I think she says, well, as you may have heard, I recently inherited my parents' estate. Along with this fine house, unfortunately, came a fine amount of debt. Owed the Dawn Council, the Harbor Master, and quite a few guild halls. It seems my parents, for all their success as adventurers, and maybe that's something you didn't know before, but like it seems to imply like, yeah, her parents were like adventurers. They were not quite as skilled at finance as one might expect. If I'm to get these taxes paid, if I'm to get these debts taken care of, I'm going to need access to my family's vault under Castle Tavora. And that's the problem, you see. The vaults are magically locked, keyed to special signet rings. Both of my parents have these rings, of course, at least until recently. My mother lost hers a few months ago. She arranged for a replacement, but it won't be done for another month. Too late for me. Which leaves my father's ring. He never wore it. He had a thing about men wearing jewelry. He kept it hidden somewhere on his ship, the Blue Nixie. The problem there is that the harbor master has seized the ship until someone pays for the last 4 months of mooring. Now, I paid the fines to the man the harbor master has put in charge of the ship, a brute named Solar Vark. But when I went to claim my ship, Vark's men wouldn't let me board, claiming that I hadn't yet paid the fines. Now, I spoke to Vark again, and he denied ever receiving my payment. My complaints to the harbor master have fallen on deaf ears. He's a doddering old fool who trusts his man, and he won't relent. Vark and his men are up to something on my ship. I know it. What I need is to find out exactly what they're up to and, well, get my ship back if I can. Unfortunately, Vark's not the type to react well to diplomacy or logic. I need someone who speaks his language, which is where you come in. If you can find out what he's using my ship for, or even better, recover the money I paid him, I'll pay you each 200 gold in return once I've access to my vault. Yeah, she just kind of like sits back like, and there it is.
Yeah, I think Queen nods and she just kind of said, and she just, kind of like leans forward, trying to be like, diplomatic and whatnot. And she just says, "Oh, well, first of all, I'm really sorry for your loss."
Yes.
I lost my parents too, so I apologize.
Could you put the name of the guy on the chat?
Oh yeah. Solar Vark.
And my one question is, why not? We briefly met your merchants that you seem to have in the family. Why not use them? Why us?
Well, that's the thing. I need all the help I can get with several things right now, and well, the Jade Ravens are off to Port Harcourt, and they're going to talk to my aunt and uncle, and well, I need to see if they can give me any funds or help me in this situation. And the seas being as they are these days, not the safest in the world, and they can take care of themselves. So I thought that was the best course of action. But to be honest, my parents always kept the Jade Ravens as their personal adventurers, and I don't know them all that well. I feel like I need to have people that are my helpers. That sounds silly when I say it like that.
I just kind of like, if her hand is anywhere near the top of the table,
Sure.
would just kind of like cover her hand with mine and be like, I would be happy to help any of the local orphans and widows.
Yeah.
Which she is now an orphan.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
She is indeed.
Yeah, she nods and then says, of course, I suppose that's what the Order of St. Cuthbert does, isn't it? Well, I don't mean to come off like a helpless maid who needs rescuing, but I suppose that is where I am.
Yeah, Deli would kind of pipe up and said,
So what's on the ship?
Well, my father's signet ring somewhere. He's probably hidden it. I don't know. But we'll say that again.
What else is on the ship?
I don't know. Things you keep on a ship? It's been in the docks for 4 months now.
Do you happen to know maybe where we could get, blueprints to the ship?
Blueprints?
Is that a thing? That's a thing, right?
I think you would probably say that word, but she doesn't understand what you mean.
Okay. And he goes,
You probably use the word schematics more than blueprints. Because blueprints has a very particular modern thing.
Yeah. We'll say schematics.
Yeah.
And so I'll say, documents, pictures, telling about how the ship is constructed and where each room is.
I don't think my father had anything like that in his study. I mean, I suppose whoever made it has it, but I'm sorry, I can't really be much of use there.
Do you know who might have built the ship?
It's been years. I wouldn't know where to start. I would have to tear through my father's study just to find the contract.
Then he just raises his hand and says, "No need, then.
Okay.
We'll have it taken care of."
Yes. Really? She looks around at all of you like,
And Takewee, I think, nods her head and she just goes, just because you're a noble does not mean that you are not in need. And we are here to help those in need. So.
Real quick, did she specify 200 GP per person?
yes.
Nice.
Takeway kind of like looks up at like the portrait behind her and just kind of like as like, because dinner's not there yet. So she's just trying to keep conversation going. She kind of like looks up at the portrait and just goes, "Was that your father?"
Yeah. She pauses and she says, "No, that's my brother, Ventus." Does anyone who wants to can make an insight check when she says that?
Yeah.
I would like to make an insight check. It did not go well.
I rolled 16.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Everybody else has wisdom. This is great.
Were you going to roll one, Jordan, or no?
No, why would I?
Okay, yeah. So only Deli notices this. She does a good job of like hiding her emotions on her face, but Deli, you can tell for whatever reason that she seems distraught when that topic comes up. Like the moment like she had to say her brother's name, there's like a pang of like, ugh.
So I just noticed that there's a hint of pang, not necessarily.
You're not sure what it means. She's just distraught about the topic in general, and that's pretty much all you can get.
Okay.
Sore about the topic of her brother.
What's her brother's name? Want to put that in the chat too?
Yeah, Ventus Vanderboren.
And I think Takewee like almost
right.
like frowns, like not because she notices that she's upset, but because she's in her mind, she's thinking like, then where's he? Isn't
Right.
he supposed to inherit the state? But then she doesn't press any further about it. But
Sounds good.
You know what? Deli has nothing in terms of tax, so she'll say,
What happened to him?
Nothing has happened to him. He's just left town.
Forever?
And then I think that's the moment where the food arrives, and she's just like, "Oh, Carla, good to see you. Thank you. You can put the roast goose down there right there." Yeah, and Carla seems to be like trying to handle all this on herself. I think you guys can get the sense that like this is probably like the only servant she has working for her right now. Besides that, like one dude at the front who had like a guard post. So yeah.
oof, that's rough.
But yeah, I think she says as you guys start to like get your foot on your plates and stuff, she says, any other questions? Otherwise, I suppose we should get started.
Deli just stares at her like she's like waiting for me.
I think the only other thing she says is, "How much time do you have?"
Well, not more than a month. As soon as possible would be fantastic.
Well, of course. I think we'll get right on it.
Yeah. So I assume you have a pleasant meal. And then what's the exact plan after that point? Like, are you just going straight there that night? It's like evening.
I think Audrin would first like thank her for the generous meal.
Yeah, and she nods and says, "Of course, that's the least I can do. My parents always taught that hospitality was a virtue." Oh, by the way, her parents' names, who you would probably know by now, is Varric and Larissa Vanderboren.
Um,
So I'm assuming we're gonna probably wait until morning. Or maybe afternoon. I was thinking maybe Takui would say like something like, let's see what we can like figure out like on our own with our own people like about this guy. If we can find out like more information, and then we'll go out in the morning or in the afternoon.
Sure. Yeah. And I believe, let me double check. Yeah. So she does say like it's the Blue Nixie is supposed to be docked at Pier 5 in the Merchant District.
What is the blue what?
The Blue Nixie. It's a type of fae.
And I spelled that wrong.
Okay, so it's close by. It's in the Merchants Guild.
Yeah, it's in the Merchant District. It's actually in between the Merchants Guild Hall and the Smiths Guild Hall. So I can actually show you that on the map.
So the Solar Vark guy is who? And because it was like there's a harbor master and then there's Solar Vark.
Yeah, so the way that it works, and you guys probably know this, so the harbor master, whose name is Celestino Alvarez, he is actually the district noble of Azure District, and so he's also in charge of like just the harbor in general on all the docks and stuff. But yeah, he hires like a bunch of different people to run each of the docks and get all that taken care of.
So he just runs the dock.
Yeah, Solar Vark would be basically the guy who he put in
Okay.
charge of this ship or whatever. Or
He's
this
like-
dock.
He's like the manager over that dock. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sort of.
Okay.
That's what it would be. But yeah, so
Got it.
you guys are right here at the manor, and the dock would be this one right here, this long
Okay.
one.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, do you spend do you go to sleep? Lavinia basically, I think at that point also says like you're welcome to sleep here. Like there's guest rooms. If you're gonna do this in the morning, also I think she implies at one point during the meal, like I will probably have additional work for you to do after this is over if you're interested. And as she kind of insinuated earlier, she's thinking of like getting her own group together, sort of a thing, right? Besides just her parents' group. That works for her by default, but she doesn't really know.
This is something we hadn't really talked about, Caleb, but
Yep.
am I required to return back to where I'm staying, or is it kind of a take care of it as
They wouldn't hold it against you if you didn't.
Okay.
I would say that's a very kind offer, but I must be getting back to my duties. And I would go back to the monastery to report what is going on and explain what I will be doing.
I see you're taking that faction list to heart then already.
Yes, I am a loyal gal.
Deli would probably just turn to her and say,
Well, I probably should go back home, but can I stay and look at your fish?
Oh, yes. We actually have 3 dogs if you want to, if you would like to take a look at them as well.
I would.
Carla told me that you were admiring the fish earlier.
wait, let me see if I have a spell prepared. Oh, I do have speak with animals prepared.
Yeah. Yes. Do you want to talk to these dogs?
I would just talk to the dogs. And we don't actually have to go through that,
Yeah,
but
I'll just tell you real briefly. The Vanderborns own like 3 big mastiffs, but they're like total teddy bears on the inside, right? Like they're like very, very nice.
It's like she can ask who's a good boy.
Exactly.
And, like,
Me,
they're
me,
actually
me,
like,
me. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Deli.
Deli stays and probably goes home, but she stays and talks to the dog.
Sure.
I think
He's friendly with it.
Takui asks if she has a library. Takui likes to read.
Sure. Yeah. She nods and says, yes, of course. You can take a look at it if you'd like. If there's a book that interests you, maybe take it up to your room.
I would love that. Always looking for new things to learn and read.
Yeah. So she nods and says, excellent. Carla, would you show her the way? Carla nods. Takes one more glance at Audrin.
longingly.
Yeah. So Takui, I assume you're taking her up on the offer, though.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's like I got nowhere else to be. What about you, Audrey?
I think Audrin. I think Audrin says, "I'm going to duck out for the night too, but and I assume we're going to meet somewhere in the morning.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll meet with you all back here first thing in the morning." And acts like he's like leaving to go, home or whatever, but actually goes to scope out the dock.
Okay.
Once it gets nice and nighttime.
Sure. Yeah. Make a stealth check for me first. It's not gonna be terribly difficult, but just to see your general stealthiness in the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of funny because it's something else I was going to do.
And I would wait until it's like, more nighttime-ish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can always do a history check too on like the Harbor Master or Solid Arc or whoever, just see if you know any more about them as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do.
I know you guys are gonna
history check.
yeah, you're probably gonna do that in the morning though. So
Wait, but
Yeah.
George, are you doing the stealthy? Is the stealthy stuff Jordan is going to be doing only relevant later at night? I guess, Caleb, because Deli was also going to take that way home and might run into him before then. I guess is my only point.
oh, you were gonna take the long way and look at the dock yourself?
Yeah, for a very specific reason.
Sure. I mean, Deli, make a perception check and what against the stealth that
Did he roll
Audrin's
already?
gonna make. No, he didn't yet. There you go. 21 is your DC.
No, I don't see him at all.
Yeah, so I mean, Audrin probably does notice you, right? But
So here's what you see. Here's what you see, Jordan. You see Deli. She's walking, and she kind of walks to the area. And is that actually sand?
either sand or like dirt, or well, honestly, that's probably like cobblestone because that's like the
Oh.
city streets. Yeah.
Is there an area where it's kind of sandy in that area?
The beach.
Okay, so
The
let
edges.
me make sure. Yeah, so what you see, Jordan, is you see her kind of walk to the area where the boat is, and she kind of just sits down there on the beach. You just start to see her take handfuls of sand and start eating them. Start eating the sand little bit by bit. And after a while of eating that, she kind of just dusts off her hands and leaves.
Yeah, so I mean, both of you notice though when you get there. So again, like she said, like the Blue Nixie is supposed to be docked at Pier 5. But actually, the Blue Nixie isn't docked there at all. It's actually moored to a float about 100 feet from the pier's end. So it's like over here, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah, that doesn't seem normal. But yeah, you notice that.
I'm probably thinking about why the heck would that?
The heck are they doing over there? And she's just sitting there
Eating sand. Yeah.
There's a reason, but I wanted to do it.
Yeah, I mean, Audrin.
Okay, yeah. So first off, Audrin to himself says, "Okay, note to self: sand is a good snack."
Wait, so I mean, we've been doing stuff for a month. Actually, maybe would any of them?
You would,
like,
yeah. You guys would have seen her eat weird things before. This is probably at least
I
somewhat
eat weird
normal.
things a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Audrin, do you do any other scoping about when you're there?
Yeah, I want to see who's like around right now.
Sure. Make a investigation check. Just to, I'll tell you some stuff based on that as you're just scoping
Yeah.
around. Yeah, with a 13, I mean, it's dark out. It's night. There's not really anyone else out. And honestly, you can't really tell a whole lot about the ship either. Like you think you see movement at one point, like someone's on the ship. I mean, someone must be on the ship, you think, but
right.
Yeah, you can't really notice anything more.
Okay, then. All right, then I'm probably going to go back to an area. or some sort of like kind of hidden away crevice or alleyway where I can just kind of get a nap, or I can sleep for the night.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah.
I mean, you can always go to Takewee's room. You know that's empty because I'm staying with hers.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's in that area.
Your room with the bent trident.
Nah,
Cool.
I think he'd probably just.
Yeah, so I mean, if nobody else does anything that night or whatever, obviously Takewee's reading a book, and Anna's getting her report to Father Valentine. But other than that,
I think if I don't know if Lady Vanderboren does come in at some point, like because I'm probably like in the study, like by the fire, like reading and whatnot.
right? Yeah,
Does she come in like at
Sure.
all? Like
that's fine. She probably would.
I think at one point, like Takewee, like maybe like closes the book and like looks at her and just goes, just curious, Lady Vanderboren.
Yes.
Why us four? We're kind of weird.
Yeah, she frowns and then says, I mean, everyone's been talking about it. How heroic you all were. That child was threatened in the marketplace.
I'd like to think that any good citizen would have done something like that.
I suppose we all think that. But I think something happens when you're in a situation like that. You freeze. You can't quite build up the nerve to do something. And then it's too late. You four, you had the steel to go for it. And that's what I need
She
right
just
now.
kind of nods. She just says, well, I hope we can do you proud. We're going to do our best to help.
I have every hope.
And she just goes back to reading.
Actually, Caleb,
Mhm.
a really important question
Mhm.
that I forgot to ask earlier. What are the dogs' names?
Oh, good question.
The
yeah,
first
That
names
was
that he
a
doesn't
very
have.
important thing.
Okay,
that was skipped
the
over.
the names are clearly Good Boy, Nice Doggy, and Precious.
The most handsome little boy.
Yes.
Goodest
cute.
boys, Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi, it's the goodest boy.
Rip Chi-Chi.
Let's see.
Name him Spot, Stripe, and
Williker.
Williker. Sure.
All right, I'm generating some names. Give me a second here. All right, the three dogs' names are Madger, Tycho, and Nero.
Going to be so important later. I just know it.
Very important, yes.
If we're gonna be staying there, I need to know the dogs' names.
This is very important.
Very important.
Yeah, so I assume you all get together in the morning and do some digging.
Where do we get together?
Yeah, good question.
Probably the front of her
The
estate.
manor, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
And I would have, when I was reporting the great injustice that has been done
Mhm.
back to Father Valentine, I would have asked him like if he had any idea, just like a general, like, have you heard about any of this happening? I cannot believe it.
What part of it exactly are you asking about?
How like Solar Vark is just like blatantly lying and like
Right.
stealing money from someone who's in need and an orphan and a single woman. It's just horrible.
Yeah, I think he smiles kindly at you and he says, I haven't heard of the exact situation you're referring to, but and Father Valentine, I actually have a thing for him. Let me grab what he looks like. Do. He's a very kindly old man.
Oh, look at those eyes.
Mm-hmm. Has very kind grandpa eyes, a nice kind of like triangle beard, bald head. Wears black robes. But yeah. He smiles kindly at you and he says, "While I don't know anything about that exact situation, I have been aware of some time of, well, the failing health of our harbor system. Lord Alvarez is an old man. He needs to give his post to someone soon, or else, well, it's only going to get worse."
Mm.
I don't think you're going to have any luck talking to him about it. I'll say that much, at least.
Okay, well, that's what I'll probably be working on the next few days, is trying to right this wrong. But maybe we can, through this, find someone who would be more suitable to be a harbor master to help make sure that there's justice with the harbor system and honesty.
Yeah, he smiles again and then says, "If anyone can do that, Anna, it's you." And, like, pats your head a little bit.
Okay, well, I'm going to go to sleep. We're meeting early in the morning.
Sleep well, child.
Do.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a role here, right? Someone can make. Who's actually trained in, like, history? Or investigation,
I am.
maybe?
I'm trained in history, but I think I only have a +3.
I guess it depends on what you're looking for. What kind of stuff do you want to dig up?
I feel like investigation would be more helpful because that's more relevant to like probably just like the current situation. Sure. Is anybody trained in investigation?
I have 5 in history and 5 in investigation. Cool. So either one.
Jordan's our man, and he's been rolling so well.
Yeah, is anyone else?
That could change any moment.
I guess the only question is, like, is anyone else trained in investigation and can give him advantage? Otherwise, he'll probably be on his own here.
Well, you said could my training in history?
You know what? Sure, that makes sense. That? Yeah, we can double up on that and just like learn as much information as you can. Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll in an investigation, Jordan, with advantage.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice. Didn't even need it. 23.
Jordan has been like
on fire.
Look, this is all like pity from Roll20 because of the crap stats it gave me.
It did give him very bad stats.
Really? Is intelligence like your only good stat?
So look, okay, I didn't get anything under an 11.
But a lot of his, like 3 of them were 11s.
I got 11, 11, 11, 12, 12, 15.
So
basically your average at like everything.
Could be worse. Could be much worse.
That could be a lot worse.
I mean, it's like I'm average at everything except intelligence. I'm a pretty smart kid.
Yeah.
It's kind of what happens when you're when you have the kind of life I've lived.
So what you guys discover is, right, Calabar's harbor master, Celestino Alvarez, is in a sorry shape. He is slowly succumbing to a chronic lung infection, and he is saddled with sons and daughters either uninterested or incapable of taking up the family traditions. There was like a son he was planning on passing the position of harbor master to, because it's like a family thing that's been in the noble family for generations. But both that son and another one of his daughters, he has a lot of kids, went like mysteriously disappeared one day, and like no one's ever found out what happened to them. And ever since then, basically, he's just like he has like daughters who are basically like, we just want to get married, and then a son who is like deathly afraid of the water. And that's the situation he's left with right now, which basically means that like he's coming to terms with the fact that he may need to pass the duties of harbor master to another of Calabar's families. But the very idea like sickens him. And it's like it consumes his thoughts by day and his dreams by night. And you're like getting some of this from like employees of his, right? As you like talk to people.
He just needs to marry one of his daughters off to a really good guy and then pass it off to him.
That could work, yeah. But as of right now, like the issue I think that the employees say he has is that he just has too high standards. Like he can't find anyone that could possibly meet his ridiculously high standards for how good you have to be to have this position. And so in the meantime, he's let the whole place just fall apart because he's so obsessed with that search and that he can't find anyone, that he just like the harbor is just falling apart. And people like corruption is just seeping in. There's animal smuggling going on, a lot of stuff like that. So
Animal smuggling?
yeah, you do get a hint of animal smuggling as a thing.
Me?
Yeah, that's the situation you find there. Lord Alvarez's few remaining loyal employees have their hands full keeping the city harbor under control without exposing how precarious things actually are to the Dawn Council and to the public. And that's kind of like the balancing act they're playing right now. And basically you get the sense that like Solar Vark is one of those employees who just is taking advantage of the corruption and probably doing something illegal on the side, using the Blue Nixie to do something he shouldn't be doing, and is scamming Lavinia out of her money. And, like the harbor master believes him whenever, like when Lavinia went to him and like said, "Hey, I paid the fine," and he's like, "If my man says you didn't do it, then you didn't do it," sort of thing.
He's just too busy.
Yeah.
So question, so would the money have gone to, so then the money would have gone to,
normally it would go like through the system and then to like the harbor master organization or whatever, right?
So it
like,
would have gone to Solar Vark.
But yeah, it sounds like the situation, yes. So it would be given to him. So it's very likely he just pocketed it.
Right. Okay.
Didn't.
So what we got to do is we got to find some documentation. Right.
I mean, from when you heard from Lavinia, it sounded like, and I think she was probably like embarrassed when she explained this to you. She's like, "Listen, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm new at this, and I didn't ask for a receipt. I didn't have public witnesses. Like, there's no record of this." Like I made a mistake. I know I made. So
basically, she's like, because she told us like, if you can get my money back, that'd be great. So basically, she wants us to steal money from Solar Vark.
I mean, basically, she's like, "Listen, it's my ship. He stole from me. Like, I don't want you to like do a bunch of bad things, but like you get, maybe rough him around a little bit, intimidate him."
How much gold exactly are we talking? That was the 4 months payment,
right?
Let's see. What did she pay for that?
I'm guessing somewhere in the range of thousands.
It was.
It's got to be worth to pay us 800.
Yeah, it was 40 platinum pieces, which means it was 400 gold worth, basically. So this is the thing, but he's not like she doesn't have the funds. The whole reason she needs this is because she literally has like basically no other money at all, and she promised to give you money when she can get access to her
So what
vault.
she did, was she scrapped up as much money as she could, her 400 gold, in hopes that she'd get the ring and then get the rest of her money.
Got it now.
Yeah.
Right. So but then when she got rid of that 400 gold, it was literally all she had.
Exactly.
She had to sell everything.
Yeah.
And
it's like those scam emails, but real.
She sent all of her money to a prince in Nigeria, and didn't go very well.
Once you get me back my money, I'll pay you more.
So I think the first thing we're going to have to figure out is how to get on the boat.
Yeah, and Audryn can obviously report like, "Hey, it's actually moored 100 feet out there." So,
see, that was one of the reasons. Okay, I will just say this. That's the reason I was eating sand, but I don't know if it would actually be very helpful to come to think of it, because I have create or destroy water that I can cast.
Unless you're planning on spending a very, very long time depleting the ocean.
Well, I also was thinking that I was thinking that before I realized like the boat was not going to be there. I figured like maybe I could like rocket or like something like that.
Create destroy water does not do that. That would not be helpful.
Well, I was thinking, like I said, is when I thought it was closer.
Yes, yeah.
I also got to eat sand, which is just fun.
Mm-hmm.
So then she would have reported, or Dilly would have reported that the boat was far away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to keep that a secret, Audryn, that you went there at all? Okay.
Yeah, I won't mention it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can see it when we get there in the morning.
You obviously notice it when you get there. Yep.
Right. So when we're there, like, I think it's just kind of like, why is it so far? Like, we got to figure out a way to get on the boat without being noticed.
I mean, you look around, it's like there's other piers. There's like, you can maybe like hire a boat somewhere.
I can
Buy a
cast-
Right, but we
rowboat.
can't just like hire a boat to go out there and then just dock. Like that'd be
I mean, it might be
I
dangerous.
have an idea. I can cast fog cloud near the boat, and we can sneak up to it.
So we
Probably-
need to go at night
right. That's what I was thinking was
and just swim on out.
swim or like get a small like boat or something like.
right, maybe like a rowboat or something.
How
So, Caleb-
could we get a rowboat?
I do have a thought, Caleb, and a
Yeah.
question. So my background,
Oh yes.
Ooh, are you a
Right.
sailor
Yeah,
person?
he's a
of the
sailor. Yeah, yes.
seas?
You can know a person who could lend you a rowboat for free, for sure.
okay.
Yep, that makes
Cool.
sense.
Jordan's really just coming in clutch already.
Wow, I know. Jordan's like the most like versatile one out of all of us. I'm just like,
I-
dang, all right.
I
Make
have
him your
designed this-
leader.
I wanted this character to be what I wanted, like the completion or the fulfillment of what I wanted to do with Akashi,
Oh yeah. Mhm.
and just be like utility.
General
and-
like has a gadget for anything. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yep. So you know someone, Audrin, who can you can get a boat for him real quick. But yeah, if you want to go at night, that makes sense.
Now, where is do we know where Solarvark's office is?
Good question. I guess you got a 23 on investigation. Let's say sure, but it doesn't seem like he's there right now, and someone who's in front would be able to tell you that immediately.
Okay.
So it's honestly likely that he's on the ship right now.
Mm, okay. Doing his illegal stuff.
Yeah, that's from all the investigation you've done, that seems probably what's happening here. Right? It's like they're
So,
doing
now I'm
something legal with the
assuming-
ship.
I'm assuming Our Lady doesn't want us to just like go in there and be like, in the name of Our Lady, like we're here to take the ship back,
Yeah.
like because she doesn't want a bad name.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm assuming
think-
discretion is key here.
Yeah, her explanation probably of that, and we flash back to like part of the dinner where you talk about this, and she probably like she basically asks you like, do your best to not throw the first punch if it comes to it, but like in the end, if they're putting up a fight, then they're in the wrong because that's my ship and they stole from me. But like she's also like, I think she sheepishly says like, listen, part of like the reason that I'm sending you and not going myself again is that like I need deniability if it does go badly. Like I can't be directly tied to something that could go wrong in this situation. So I do need this to be discreet, but if it does end up getting out of hand, like I need there to be no connection to me because yeah, it's important. And especially right now, as precarious as her house is right now, she doesn't need to be caught in a scandal. So
For sure.
I have a quick question, Caleb.
Mhm.
Does ritual magic trigger chaos? I would guess no, because
I don't
I'm
think
gonna-
so. Yeah, I think you have to spend a spell slot.
Because essentially, I want to cast detect magic before we get on there, so I can kind of sniff out the ring, because it's magic ring, right? The signet ring.
Yeah, it would be. Yep. Yeah, it's like magically paired with the.
He's
Vault
gonna
door.
be wearing the ring. Watch. Just know it already. He found it and he's wearing it. Yeah, so I mean, I say we go on board at night, try to like here's the thing, right? Like it's her ship. I don't think they're gonna exactly like just be intimidated to like, I don't know. We're probably gonna have to rough them up a little bit.
So
I'm prepared
I've
to
got
do what needs to be done.
But
I
so
think
then
after
shouldn't we
she
like go in and wear disguises then? Because we also don't necessarily want this like tied to us too.
Oh, it's funny you say that.
Oh yeah, Audrin, that's an awesome idea. I know exactly where you're going with this. I'm totally down. Do you have disguise kit though?
That I don't think that. I
Well,
do.
you took sailor background, so you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a disguise kit proficiency?
I have a medical kit, herbalism kit.
Yeah,
I
so
think.
you'd have to make an untrained disguise kit check, but you could try that. Yeah.
And you just don't add a +2. It's not that bad.
I was gonna also say, like, when she mentioned that we had to like try to do it, just basically the situation where it's kind of sketchy. She doesn't want to be tied to it, so we're sending in to do something that's kind of not legal, but also like, when she meant
it is legal if
Yeah.
he stole the money, which she claims he
Right.
did. So
yeah, but when she explains all of that, Audrey just goes, "You have contacted the right person."
yeah. I mean, yeah. Do you want to make a untrained
Well,
disguise kit check?
so like as part of my background, I would think, or my backstory.
Do you have any other proficiencies that you would rather switch out for that?
I was about to say, I could just make myself proficient in disguise kits because I didn't make myself proficient in any of that because it wasn't included in the character mancer, so I didn't realize it. So I could just be proficient in it.
Would that make sense though for your character?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Likely not.
So what, the character master didn't give you options for your background stuff?
It didn't give me for monk that you can choose artisan's tools or a musical instrument for proficiencies.
Oh, weird.
At least when it didn't pop up when I was doing it. So
is a disguise kit an artisan's tool?
I thought it was. It might not be.
I didn't think
what does that
was,
mean?
Bells I would have.
Let's see.
Could I trade proficiency with a specific weapon?
Nope.
No.
Artisan's tools is different.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, and it looks
if
like
I was proficient in paint or supplies, I could paint us new faces.
I mean, honestly, you'd have to paint my.
I mean, we could also just go in hoodies, and just.
I'm just saying, if you're trying to
easy.
disguise yourselves, then someone is rolling an untrained disguise kit check.
I'm fine with rolling an untrained disguise kit check. My question would be would I, because my assumption would be that because of my backstory, I'd have a certain
maybe you just have the tools, but you're not necessarily fully trained in it. I don't know.
Well, so
I know what you're saying, Jordan. I'm fine with you having the costumes still. That's fine with me.
Well, just the one of my own.
Oh, okay. I was honestly assuming that you maybe had recovered some of the other costumes.
I actually have a costume.
Oh,
right. Because my thought would be it would be really fun if you just dressed all your new friends in your old friends' costumes, right?
Oh, yeah.
That would be my thought.
Okay, I'm okay with that if you are.
Yeah, just make a disguise kit check.
Okay.
With intelligence, so.
Yeah.
So just make an intelligence check.
Intelligence check?
Yep.
Okay, and because I'm familiar with everybody, I'm familiar with these costumes.
You can take advantage. I mean, this is actually revealing something interesting about your character anyway, so yeah. Take advantage.
Yeah.
13. Okay. Well, I mean, that's the DC that they have to, do perception check against. So,
my glowing red hair is probably going to be a dead giveaway. But
that's the thing. You can control it. Remember, we have said I don't know how much control Taquia has over her emotions, but yeah,
we'll see.
So, Audrey, would you like to describe to us what costumes you dress each of your friends in?
Yeah. So one of them, man, I haven't had much time to think about this, but
you can just give us a general description of the sort of costumes they are too.
Yeah. So they're somewhat over the top, kind of something you might see in a various theater plays, things that you might see on a stage, somewhat, but they've had pretty out there modifications. The colors are oddly vibrant. and like mismatched. And they're
Like I'm thinking V for Vendetta sort of stuff. Right? Like the kind of alabaster masks.
let me see. V for Vendetta.
Not like Austin.
Yeah. So that, but also somewhat like it's a mixture between that and somewhat jester-like.
Yeah. So brighter colors.
And my own has like that kind of like the hat that the guy wears in V for Vendetta.
Okay, yeah,
like
of course.
that. But there's like a face sewn onto the hat.
That's terrifying. Okay.
Not an actual face, but like
I know.
button, yeah. button, and then like a stitch smile.
Yeah, sure. And I assume everybody else is more or less the same, like various like masks and colorful clothing.
Yeah.
You can tell Deli
Feather.
really. You can tell that Deli really does not like being in this colorful clothing.
Actually, it wouldn't be super bright colors. It would be colorful, but it would be like darker colors, things that are easier to conceal at night.
Okay, that's fair.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so each of you are dressed in this, and does anyone ask of like where this came from? Like,
I would have just kind of been like, I mean, I can put on these clothes, but I have no issue just going in what I'm wearing.
Deli just looks.
She looks at this, looks at him, looks back, goes, I don't want to know.
And Audrey just says, Audrey shrugs and says, suit yourself, whatever, specifically to Anna, suit yourself, whatever, basically like
trying
that
to
he
find the
figured it would
vocabulary.
be easy. Well, yeah, just basically that would be easy. Like he would figure that it would be easier to not get caught.
Well, I just kind of like shrug and put it on.
Yeah, Takely's just like, all right.
So nobody asks any questions about it?
I don't want to know.
I mean,
I don't know how normal people
but
work.
She'd be more like intrigued rather than like confused. She'd just be like, so like, what are these used for? Because she's never been to like a play or
Yeah.
something like that. So
Audrey just goes, in short, exactly what we're about to do. And then he puts on his mask and hat.
So they're meant for like sneaky warriors?
Yeah, more or less.
Great.
Who has the best perception among the other three of you besides Audrey?
I have a 2.
Oh, the best perception.
Dilly has a
I have a
3.
+4.
Yeah, so Takui, I think you notice there's like a blood stain under right in the armpit of this costume.
Oh.
It looks like it was someone tried to scrub it away, but it didn't quite work.
A blood stain. Okay.
Blood stain. What?
Takui noticed a blood stain in the armpit of her costume.
Nope, I can't.
I think she's just like, what creature bleeds from the armpit?
Any creature who gets stabbed in the armpit.
That out loud?
Well, I mean, but it's not ripped, so it's not like it's been sewn, or is it like
it looks
sewn?
like it's been sewn, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then she might be like, that's an odd place to stab somebody.
It's actually a really good place to stab someone. Especially if they're wearing a certain type of armor.
Yeah, I guess so. So I think she's just like, huh. Well, he said there were sneaky warrior costumes, so I guess there must have been. But like, I don't think she said anything.
Yeah.
She's just like thinking it through, like in her brain, like trying to figure it out. Because she doesn't like asking like a ton of questions.
Yeah.
She likes to, because but she likes to try to figure things out herself.
Cool. So, sneaky approach to the ship then?
Yeah, suppose so.
All right, who
Let's
has
go.
the worst stealth?
I have a +1.
1.
5.
All right, either Takui or Deli, either one of you, but not both, just one of you. Go ahead and make a stealth check, because the others are more stealthy than you, so we'll assume that they are.
I have an idea for mine. So.
Oh, there you go. 20. 20 is the roll for the whole party. Good job, guys.
Wow! Look at us.
Yeah.
We not having Raya in her heavy armor really helps.
Oh, you know what? That makes me think.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just saying. Ari had to cast Pass Without Trace every single time just to make sure we got a passable score.
Okay, but like, would you not have done that anyway to make sure it was stealthy?
But we would have been like the night as a party instead of
just
this
fine
like...
with being the dusk.
That's a pretty good one.
Cool. So I'm gonna double check their
No, where their passive perception is more than 20.
Yeah, so I think they will make a roll though, because they're. So I think you notice as you are sneaking up, they're obviously milling around the ship, and I think some of them are like loading, like packing away crates. It looks like they're actually honestly getting ready to like take the ship somewhere. And so I think someone is looking out, like making sure no one's watching. So someone is going to make a roll here, one of these goons, but they don't have a good roll. So honestly, the only way they can do this is that they crit. So. No, and they did not.
I was expecting a crit just because you said that.
Just because
How
you said
many
it. Didn't roll
guys
bad,
do we
though.
see?
Say it again.
How many guys do we see on the ship?
You see 4 milling around on deck. But from the shouts they're giving, not shouts, but like the words they're passing with someone. They're passing words with some others below deck. Like some of them are passing crates down to them and stuff. So.
Can we say as we were going up, I had prepared detect magic?
As in like cast it?
Yeah.
I mean, how long does it last?
10 minutes.
Yeah, I would say you cast it before you left, because otherwise you're not gonna be able to be stealthy.
That's what I meant. Like I cast it. We went over there to try and do it.
Yes. Yeah, so you have it active right now. Cool.
Yeah, because you said it's only 100 feet out. I can't imagine it take us too long to get over there, even with being stealthy.
Even when you're trying to be stealthy, yeah, it's still not too bad. And I'm gonna go ahead and drag you guys to this map.
Ooh.
Can you not see anything?
No, I can't see
That's
anything.
correct.
That's
Obviously
It is.
who has dark vision.
Oh, shoot.
You're a human.
That's so
now.
sad.
I know. Yeah.
I
Got it.
Hold on.
I don't. In fact,
freaking normal human.
I think fire genasies do.
I think they do. Let me just double check though, just to be sure. Because it could be that I don't, and that it's just like my natural like light from like my hair normally like comes off. But I just want.
I'm pretty sure you guys do, but yeah, you can check. And you have dark vision too, Deli. You said
No.
no.
I'm a dragon.
Oh wow. Audrin does though, because he's a half elf.
I did just realize though I don't have any fire based attacks. I didn't pick my cantrip very well.
Heck, where's fire genasi? Yes, I do have dark vision. I can see dim light within 60 feet.
That's what I assumed. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and.
Oh, but everything is in a shade of red.
Ooh, that's fun.
That is fun.
Yeah, so I think I don't know why this. Oh well. I'm just gonna go ahead and put. Put a torch up there.
I mean, they obviously don't have dark vision either.
They
so
don't.
would have...
Yeah.
It's all fancy animated torch.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they have a couple torches going. And
So the people up there wouldn't have dark vision?
no. They would not. So what side are you approaching?
Top side. We're not a submarine.
Fair.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's just kind of up to you, right? Like,
I would assume we'd probably go more towards the back, like where, like, you know, the bottom stairway would be,
wherever the least
and there's like less
seem to
people,
be.
right?
like right there.
Yeah, like kind of like in the back, so that way we can have access to.
Or
Oh, yeah,
honestly,
definitely there.
potentially
That
even-
looks great.
Yeah, that looks
maybe
great.
not. Yeah. Yeah, right about there.
Cool. So your stealth, they haven't noticed you. Do you just like sneak up the side of the ship? Like there isn't really a good place to like climb on over here. You're gonna have to make a check of some sort.
Am I still supposed to be seeing nothing?
No. Sorry.
Can we
Thank
can
you.
I make like a perception check to see like what they're saying? To like hear what they're saying?
Oh yeah. Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Just like off, like, you know, just as
Yep.
we're approaching.
14. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. They're saying stuff like, you know, like, I mean, it's nothing terribly
Obviously, it's not like
revealing.
expositional, like,
Yeah, it's,
and we're making evil plans with this ship.
Yeah,
but-
I think the one thing you notice that's like out of the ordinary, like obviously they're just saying like, oh, here's this crate. But the one thing you do hear is you hear some sort of chittering from below, and then a couple of squawks like parrots. Yeah, it seems like they're animal smugglers. And then the one thing you notice that one of them says, I think, but beyond that is, so the chittering happens, then someone from below just says, get away from me, you big beast. I hate spiders.
Ooh. Oh no. So I think Takewee like whispers to Deli. She's like, Deli, I need you to be calm. But they're animal smugglers. I can hear the animals on the bottom deck.
I'm going to kill them. Yes, it's like, I will do my best, but no promises.
We will try to free them. Just stay calm.
You'll see them.
But there is a spider, and I don't really like those. So maybe not that one.
Looks he like, get over yourself.
I'm just being honest.
So am
Whoa, sassy pants.
She does not have much. She's very blunt.
I got that.
And then the other thing I was going to ask is, do we know what Vark looks like?
Yeah, you probably would have gotten a description.
Okay.
He looks
Just so
like-
we can identify if he is one of the ones that we encounter once we get on the ship.
Yeah, he looks like this.
Oh, ugh.
Gross.
Rather ugly. Yeah, very shaved head, buzzed head, weird little chin afro, general weird face.
Chin afro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it like curly? I'm confused.
It's what I called that beard when I was younger, just because it was funny.
A chin afro. I don't think I've ever heard that
So
before.
yeah, just
but all right.
it's a goatee without a mustache. I don't know. I don't remember what. The
Okay,
actual
but I'm
name of that is.
expecting this beard to be curly, just that little section, like just slightly
Well,
curled.
it's what the token looks like. It's not really curled, but
Guys,
Yeah.
I should have taken Beast Bond. I could have essentially been a Pokemon trainer and let them in their attack with more, with +4 to attack. I think a +5. No, just have advantage. I should have taken Beast Bond. Well,
Yeah, I'm almost wondering. So if they're animal sucklers, I mean, they could be a great distraction.
Sure.
I say we let the animals out. Oh, let the dogs out.
Thank you. Yes. I was about to make that reference if you didn't.
Is the plan going to be then
Deli.
maybe
Deli
Audrin
did it.
or Anna sneak on the ship and let some of the animals out, or what?
Aren't you proficient with thieves' tools, Audrin?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, maybe you could get them out of their cages.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
them out.
Yes, I am sneaky, but I am not proficient with these tools.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
I mean,
Audrin, like based on what Tikwi has just told everybody about, like the fact that there's apparently there's a giant spider inside. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like the best course of action if you're going to do that is to sneak inside and let this giant spider out, because that's going to generally cause way more chaos than just letting a parrot out, right?
Yeah. So here's my thought. If I were to somehow yell down there, no. I was thinking if we had some sort of other distraction on the side, then I could go down and create a legitimate distraction. Does that make sense? And so if I went down there and I was like, "We need help on deck. We've been boarded."
Right. So get some of the people in the hold up on deck.
up there, I see.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean-
I will say I have a +5 to animal handling.
I just was thinking that releasing the spider, releasing the animals would take the focus off us and just make this seem like a freak accident
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah, because if
You know.
someone says, "Hey, there's someone on
Yeah,
board,"
that's fair.
they're going to immediately see you guys.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so yeah, I would go down there and
Okay. First, I need an athletics or acrobatics check to climb on the ship without being noticed.
okay. So here's what I want to try to do. I want to tie my rope to my crowbar and essentially create a
Makeshift grappling hook.
grappling hook.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna make a sleight of hand check for me to tie that rope, basically.
Make a what?
A sleight of hand check to basically tie the rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
nice.
17's good. Sounds
Okay.
good. You have a makeshift grappling hook.
Okay. And then he just goes, just like, okay, I'm thinking of a name here. Just like Gramp used to make.
So I think you're gonna have to make another stealth check here besides the one that the whole party made, because you're gonna have to throw this grappling hook quietly on there somehow. So, and it is a crowbar. So yeah, good luck.
we're timing it with one of their shouts or something.
Let's see.
Water. Make a splash.
I mean, yeah, if we could just have a fish splash. Are there fish in this?
It is the ocean.
The ocean.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, it's like the bay, in the city, but yeah, it's partly connected to the ocean. So yeah.
okay, so if I think I would probably try to time it with like a fish splash or something nearby.
Whew, that's going to be rather difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it would be easier to artificially create a fish splash.
I think I would take some of my ball bearings and
just throw them over to the other side of the ship, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to just splash
not
near
even
you.
Well, probably near me. I probably have it near me just because it's going to be louder over here, so it's going to make sense with the crowbar noise.
Right, that's fair. Yeah.
So yeah.
Do the stealth check with advantage.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, good thing you had it. Yeah, it's 20. 20's fine. I'm going to say they're 16 carries for now. So
Okay.
you successfully get the grappling hook on board. Now make a acrobatics or athletics with advantage. Yep, another 20.
Dang, I mean, even your non-advantage rolls are still decent rolls.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's the
take it for
funny part.
now.
As
Okay.
you're going up, you hear Deli say,
Be nice to the spider.
And Audrey just goes, "Of course, I'm gonna be nice to the spider."
And then I'm assuming once we hear the
Last thing I want is
screams, that'll be our cue to go up.
Yeah.
The rope and stuff.
Yeah, so Audrey, I assume you're just sneaking down into the hold and you're going to let this giant spider out?
Yep.
okay, describe the spider.
Yeah, so what'd you say, Seth?
I was like, describe what the
Yeah. So there's a bunch of different animals down here, right? There's monkeys, there's lots of like mandrill, baboon type things. Lots of parrots. And then there's this big old spider. And yeah, this spider, it's basically like a giant tarantula. It honestly looks a little bit hairier than this token is leading us to believe.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably like a darker brownish red than the token. But yeah, same sort of vibe to it. Big old like hairy tarantula spider thing. And it is obviously very mad about being in his cage. And it keeps like clanging on the bars and when anyone passes it.
Yeah.
But yeah. You can sneak right up to it if you want to.
Yep.
Well, actually, I will have to do something. I'm gonna roll for the giant spider.
I had an idea for something.
Yeah, it doesn't notice you.
Real quick, Caleb.
Mhm.
Would Deli know what giant spiders eat? Could I roll a luck save to see if I have spider food?
Yeah, you can roll a luck save to see if you have spider food. I'll say.
Oh no, I
Ooh.
don't have any spider food.
Yeah, that's a 3.
No spider food.
No spider food.
Darn. Well, at least Jordan got the good rolls. I was just going to try and give him advantage for letting it out and not attack.
Yeah, Audrey.
Well, if he hasn't noticed him, then it should be okay.
Yeah, only thing you have to roll at this point is a thieves' tool check. So.
Right. All right. Well.
I'm waiting for this to be the critical fail.
Yeah, right.
Fail.
That's true.
Attribute is intelligence, right?
A thieves' tools and intelligence is fine, or dexterity, whatever you better at is fine. Critical fail!
No way!
Oh my gosh!
Are you serious right
It
now?
had to happen eventually, so it probably is like they break.
Obviously, they break in the lock. And I mean, you don't get caught right away.
Yeah.
But I think they snap audibly, and one of the thugs like, what was that? And you can still dash away and hide behind something, and you're not going to be found yet. But now you have a situation because your thieves' tools are broken. Yeah, giant spider's still in the cage.
So here is what I want to do.
This is why we
Take
play
back
role-playing
that
games.
roll. He wants to take back that roll and redo it real quick.
Too bad you don't have the
Okay.
lucky feet.
I would like to. Basically, what I want to do is I want to pull the. I want to pull the broken part of it out of the lock, and then I want to position the because is it like a lock on the cage, or is it like
a lock on the
like,
cage? Yeah, so it's like a bamboo cage, some sort of wooden cage, and there's a lock clamped around where the door would open. It's like a padlock.
So it's like attached to it. It's not.
It's a padlock. It's a padlock, and the ring is around two of the parts of the cage. So it's holding the swinging part, which doesn't have a lock on it at all normally, from the rest of the cage. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to position it around towards the spider as if the spider had gotten a hold of it. I want to take my pieces out, spin it around as if the spider had tried to get the lock.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Make a deception check.
I
Wouldn't that be
realized,
sleight of
like,
hand.
huh?
Wouldn't it be sleight of hand?
Yeah,
Why would
sleight of
it
hand
be
would work too, if you're better at that.
Okay.
Oof.
Only an
Dude.
8. Yeah.
Roll 8.
So, I mean, you do it, but like, and you probably like go and hide behind a crate real quick, and the guy just like, he doesn't even notice it at all. And he's starting to like look around a little bit more. Like, I thought I
Okay.
heard something. It's a classic scene in a video game where like you get your stealth goes
Whose
breaks for just
footprints
a
are
moment.
these?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Okay.
the little eye is open.
So where exactly am I hiding out?
Like behind a couple of barrels. So let's say like you're right behind here.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
these thugs are. One of them is still like handling one of the crates.
How many
and
are down there
the
with
other one-
him? Just curious.
Just 2.
Are there any other animals around me?
Yep. There's like a mandrill right next to you. So one of the baboons with like the blue and red face. And it goes. "Rah!"
How tough is bamboo?
Tough. You could try to break it though.
Like, are we talking bamboo, or are we talking mandrill tooth tough?
Oh, as in like if you get the mandrill to freak out, could it bite through the cage?
Well, if I were to like cut it off and make them think that the mandrill like bit it open.
Again, you could make a check to make them think that. Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I want to, I want to bust open this cage.
First, make a sleight of hand check again, I guess, to like cut open the cage in such a way that it'll
Okay.
make it think. Yeah.
And what I'm doing to like simulate the like chewing aspect of it, or like make it seem like it was
Yeah.
chewed, is I'm actually going to like spit on my sword and on the part that I'm like trying to cut.
Yeah.
In order to.
Yeah, getting it wet and then kind of like chopping at it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Sleight of hand.
So sleight of hand.
23,
Yeah.
much better. Yep. So
Okay.
that looks fine, and you can open the cage if you want to, and it will like be open now, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Make an animal handling check for the mandrill not to immediately attack you.
I'm not good at this. Yeah. Well, let's see what happens.
Oh, 19.
Whoa.
Good
Wow.
job.
You really
Literally,
have turned
just
it
the
around.
one roll where it was
Well,
like
2 rolls.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
That's so
okay.
funny.
So I think like I open it up and
Yeah.
I like I think what happens is I probably knew somebody, or like one of the either like somewhere in my backstory that I've had to handle these before, so I kind of know their idiosyncrasy, so I know like how to handle them.
Or
Yeah.
you
So my-
just know someone who likes animals.
Deli rubs off on you. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah, I think one of your former friends in arms had a
Yeah.
mandrill, probably.
yeah.
You know what, Audrin? I think what it is this is that mandrill,
Yes.
right? Like it obviously like ran away or something when everything happened, and it got caught by these people and is now on a cage to go be sold somewhere. And the reason this works is because you're like, I know you.
Yep. So I open it up.
Your name is
Can I name
your
it?
name is Crimson, or you
Huh?
can name it if you want to. Yeah,
Wait, what'd you say?
I just say Crimson.
I was
Name.
thinking Boo Boo, but Crimson works for me.
Let's do Boo Boo.
Crimson. Boo Boo?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the Red Queen's mandrill named Boo Boo.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm like, Boo Boo. Oh, this is where you went. And he like he just come open. It's like, all right, go do your thing. And I
Yeah.
set him off.
And so you just want him to basically attack the dude? Or just cause chaos?
A little bit of both.
Porque no nos dos.
I mean, I think this would be where we roll initiative, but I feel like it's probably where we end our session for today, right?
Yeah. Getting good.
Hey, if you guys want to go further, we can. But it's 9:20. So, I think the last thing we see is the mandrill, like, this smuggler's like coming over, probably has a torch in his hand, like, what was that? And then this mandrill just jumps on his face and it's just like, and crashes to the ground. And then I think we probably cut back to the other three in there, and you hear this crash, and you're just like, well, time to go. And that's where we cut.
Like, that's a little smaller than a spider, but all right.
Yeah. And that is where we leave off our first session of Terra Invicta for now. I'm very excited about this. It's been a lot of fun so far. So we'll go ahead and end here and record a quick after show and skedaddle. So thanks for watching, and we are out. Adios.